Tonight, under the roaring chaos of a packed Houston arena, with banners trembling and flashbulbs strobing like lightning, this wasn't just another playoff showdown. It was a battle that felt like a generational clash, where pride, legacy, and raw ambition collided on a stage soaked in adrenaline. Kevin Harlan's voice pierced the noise as Reggie Miller's anticipation crackled through the airwaves, while Ollie LaForce stood poised courtside, eyes wide, ready to witness the kind of matchup that reminds you why this game lives in the soul of every true fan. From the opening tip, the air was thick with tension, the kind of thick that sticks to your skin and makes each possession feel like it carries the weight of an entire season. Steph Curry, the four-time champion and 142-time playoff starter, glided onto the court not just like a player ready to perform, but like a seasoned commander returning to his battlefield, while opposite him stood Amen Thompson, the fearless rookie making his playoff debut, whose poise and unshaken demeanor suggested that under the bright lights, he was not merely showing up, he was arriving. The Rockets, younger and hungrier, didn't step onto that court with starry eyes or nerves. They showed up like a pack of wolves ready to eat, led by Alperen Sengun, a walking double-double and the kind of bruising big man that forces you to feel every second you spend in the paint. They came not just to compete, but to make a statement, especially after 5 prior encounters this season that laid the emotional foundation for what's quickly turning into one of the most electrifying new age rivalries in basketball. Golden State, meanwhile, walked in with the stoicism of a team that's been through the fire and come out scorched but smiling, and yet even with all that experience, they knew this wasn't the same old Rockets squad. This one was faster, nastier, and unafraid to scrap for every inch of hardwood real estate. As soon as the game began, it was as if someone turned the volume dial all the way up. The ball barely touched the floor before Curry began darting through defenders with the kind of graceful aggression that leaves defenders spinning and fans gasping, while Houston, to their credit, answered with immediate ferocity. Fred VanVleet, cool as ever and laced with championship DNA, locked onto Curry like a predator, shadowing his every twitch, every fake, matching the reigning maestro's rhythm beat for beat in a relentless dance of will and footwork. In the trenches, Sengun and Draymond Green clashed like titans in a duel that blended finesse with brute force, trading elbows and jostling for every inch of the paint, neither backing down, each knowing that this series might hinge on moments like these where toughness outmuscles talent. Right out of the gate, Houston punched first, crashing the boards, swarming on defense, and pushing the pace with fury. Jalen Green knifed through defenders like wind slicing through tall grass, and every drive he made screamed not just for points but for respect. Curry, meanwhile, started cold, a rare sight, his first few attempts bouncing away harmlessly, but anyone who's followed the legend knows those early misses don't shake him, they sharpen him. And when that first deep three finally splashed through the net, you could feel the momentum shift in the building's bones, as if the crowd itself braced for what they knew was coming, a deluge of brilliance that only Steph can summon. Klay Thompson fed off that energy like a second sun, gliding into his mid-range sweet spots with mechanical precision, while Gary Payton too came off the bench like a man possessed, drilling a corner three and immediately setting the tone defensively with a steal that sent a jolt down the Rockets' spine. And then there was Jimmy Butler, calm, calculated, and absolutely ruthless, methodically dissecting the Rockets' defense with footwork so smooth and decision-making so crisp that every touch felt like a quiet dagger. Still, the Rockets refused to yield. Jabari Smith Jr. and Tari Eason played like human hurricanes, flinging themselves across the court with abandon, swiping at every pass, contesting every shot, and letting the Warriors know that while history might be on their side, this moment belonged to the ones who wanted it more. And then came that moment, that inevitable, inescapable turning point. Curry, ever the showman, walked the ball up as the quarter ticked towards zero, pulled up from a spot so deep it bordered on disrespectful, and let it fly with that effortless flick only he possesses. Net! Explosion! Rockets bench thrown into stunned silence. The crowd erupted. And just like that, Curry wasn't just heating up, he had arrived. But Houston had their own fire. VanVleet answered back with a high-arching floater that kissed the glass like it owed him money. Sengun bullied his way into a soft left-handed hook. Each time Golden State made a run, Houston answered, grit in their teeth, fire in their eyes. Butler carved his way into the lane with a kind of ease that shouldn't be legal in the playoffs, moving like a chess grandmaster 10 moves ahead. When he hit that contested corner three over two defenders and backpedaled like he just ordered a drink, it was clear this was playoff Butler, and he was not here to play nice. The court transformed into a battlefield, loose balls turned into scrums, screens turned into collisions, and every whistle sparked a chorus of protest from both sidelines. Curry and Van Vliet went toe-to-toe in a jump ball that had more grappling than finesse. Draymond picked up his second foul. Sengun hit the hardwood after a nasty spill. And through all of it, neither team blinked. The second quarter opened with the Rockets punching even harder. Amen Thompson began showing flashes of stardom, threading no-look passes, attacking off the dribble with fearless pace, and keeping his poise like a seasoned veteran. Houston's rebounding advantage began to tell as they ripped down board after board, turning misses into second chances and second chances into demoralizing buckets. But Steph was ready. He flipped the switch again, slicing into the paint for a pair of scoop layups that defy physics, then setting up Clay with a behind-the-back dime for a corner splash that forced Houston into a timeout. That break? It didn't stop Jimmy. In 5 straight possessions, Butler dropped a clinic, rebound, assist, contested three, steal, jumper, commanding the floor like a man who's been in every kind of war and still smiles when the bullets fly. It wasn't flash. It was control. And it was terrifying. Still, the Rockets didn't fade. They roared back with a 9-0 run, capped by a Jalen Green fast break dunk that nearly tore the rim off, and a corner three that nearly blew the roof off. Sengun began punishing Looney in the post, moving like a man twice his age but with twice the touch. This wasn't a young team trying to survive. This was a young team trying to conquer. Golden State, bruised but unshaken, punched right back. Curry started dancing again, weaving between screens, floating through traffic, and when he sank another 30-footer off a broken play, the Warriors' bench erupted like they'd just seen the ghost of 2015. By halftime, the scoreboard reflected what we already knew: we weren't watching a game. We were watching a war. Tied. Locked. No separation. What happens when legends and rising stars collide? When Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green bring the weight of their playoff past into the path of Van Vliet, Sengun, and Green's youthful fury? You get this. This isn't a series. This is a statement. So what do you think? Is this the rise of a new powerhouse, or just another chapter in Golden State's myth? Drop your takes below, smash that like button, and subscribe for everything that's about to go down. Because if Game 1 was any indication, we are in for a war that neither side is ready to lose.